Hello kids, Shubhamangalam. This is Hemalata at Little Scholar High School taking up class 3 science children. Okay, now today we shall start with lesson 3, that is birds and animals. We shall start with lesson number 3, that is birds and animals, and you need to open page number 30. Please open page number 30. Okay, now we shall talk before going into the topic of birds and animals. When we in our first class we have discussed about the living things and non-living things. Yes or no, children? I hope everyone understood that lesson. When in our surroundings we see two categories of things, that is living things and the non-living things. And whenever we talk about the non-living things, we talk about the rocks, the mountains. Yes or no, children? Which cannot move from one place to another, or which cannot reproduce, cannot eat, and all. We consider that as non-living things. And when we talk about the living things, we talk about the animals, the birds, we human beings ourselves, the plants and all. So whenever you are looking into your surroundings, we talk about living and non-living things. And when we talk about the living things, again we observe the birds in our surroundings. Yes or no, children? We see different varieties of birds in our surroundings, and we see the birds which are little small in size and which are little larger in size. Yes or no? And the different shapes of the birds, different colors of the birds, the different kinds of beak what they have. Yes or no, children? So all these are the birds which have very which vary in the size, the color and the shape. And we all see the birds flying in the air also. Yes or no, children? Now we shall move into the topic of birds. Now birds are of various types. Yes, all the birds cannot be of the same thing. The nature has created the birds in different colors, different size and different shape. Now yes, we know that birds fly in the air. Yes, all the birds, almost maximum birds fly in the air. But there are certain birds, very few birds which cannot fly. We'll go to that topic afterwards. But right now we know that birds will fly in the air. And we have seen certain birds like swimming in water also. Can you name any one of them which can swim in water? Yes, they are crane, the swan. Yes or no? So these are, there are, the birds can fly in the air, birds will fly in the air, and some birds swim in water. Now what is actually making the birds to fly in the air? The body structure. See, only few birds can fly. Why can't the animals fly in the air? You might have have this doubt. Yes or no? Why the birds are able to fly? Why not the animals are able to fly in the air? Yes, only birds can fly in the air because their body structure is designed so that helps in them to fly in the air. Now what are the things which are making the birds to fly in the air? Yes, we shall move to those aspects now. What helps a bird to fly? What helps a bird to fly? There are 5 points related to that. Now what is the first point? The first point is the strong muscles. Strong muscles. Yes, the birds which are flying in the air need to have a very strong muscles, children. And why do they have this strong muscles? Because you have seen the birds flying at a very great height from the earth surface. Yes or no? And you have, the birds have to fly from one place to other place. That is, they have to fly till high in the air, and they have to move from one place to other place. That is, they have to travel a very long distance. So for them to travel to the long distance, they need to have the strong muscles, because continuously they are flapping their wings. Yes or no, children? So when continuously flapping is just making the wings up and down. Okay, making the wings up and down, that is flapping. Now when they have to flap this energy, they flap these wings, they need to have some energy for that. And that energy is gained by the bird through food and all. But to do that also, the internal body structure also should be strong. The body also should be supporting to fly. Hence the strong muscles which are present in the bird's body, that will help the bird to fly. Understood, children? Because they have to travel to a very large height and for a very long distance in search of food maybe, or when the climate is not good at one place, they will move from that bad weather to a very good weather. Yes or no? So for all this they need to move from one place to another. So for that movement they need to fly, and to fly they require strong muscles. Got it, children? Now, light feathers. Now you might have observed the birds with very different kind of feathers, shape, colors. Some of the feathers like maybe just hairy like structures. Yes or no? Some may be little designed or different kinds of feathers will be there. Okay, children. Now the light feathers. Do you think that if the body is heavy, if the body is heavy, the bird will able to fly? No. For example, for your understanding, if there is a maybe light object in your hand, consider a balloon. Okay, a balloon without air and a balloon with water, filled with water. Yes or no, children? Now the balloon which is filled with water is little heavy. Yes or no? It cannot go to a high height, means it cannot go to a very high level. It will just go to some level and it will fall back, whereas the balloon which is filled with air can move to a greater height, because the body of the balloon is very light in nature. I hope you understood. Yes, when the body is very light, then only the body can fly in the air. So these lighter feathers will help the bird to fly in the air, children. If it is heavy, or they are very overloaded, if the feathers are very heavy, do you think the bird will able to carry this? No. Yes or no? So light feathers also is one of the point which makes the birds to fly. Now next point, light hollow bones. What is the third point? Light hollow bones. Yes, again we have discussed about the feathers. Now when their muscles are there, naturally every living organism is having bones in it. So the muscles are attached to the bones. Muscles are attached to the bones so that there can be the movement. Yes or no? When muscles are attached to the bones, the body can do some activities or move the body in different directions. Now light, how are the bones? The bones are also very delicate, or the bones are also very light, I mean to say. Light means not heavy, not heavy. They are very light bones and they are hollow. What do you understand by hollow? Now for example, this is a bone, children. Okay, now this is the bone, for example. Okay, now these bones are hollow. These bones are hollow. Hollow means there is an empty space. There is an cavity like thing, or a space, empty space, cavity. So these are hollow in nature. Okay, so if the bone is filled with some of the other material, children, like it will become heavy and the bird cannot fly, and the bird cannot fly. But if the bones are hollow, then only it is easy for the bird to lift itself, to lift the body and fly in the air. So third point is light hollow bones. Understood, children? Now what is the fourth point? The fourth point says that the body is a streamlined or boat shaped body. How is the body here? The body is a streamlined or boat shaped body. Now when we talk about this point, children, all of you know that the boat which floats in the water has this kind of shape, because it has to push the water, it has to push the water and it need to move forward. Even if you observe for an aeroplane and all, the front part of the aeroplane is something like uh, this. Okay, why? Because it is making the air to move back, air to move back. Even the bird's body is also a streamlined one, so that it is pushing the air in backward direction and it is flying. flying forward, and it is flying forward. That means when the bird has to fly, the shape of the body is in streamlined position. That is the shape of a board, which makes the air to move back and the body can move forward. Are you understanding, children? The bird which has to move in the direction, it has a streamlined one, so that the air which is surrounded here will be touching this body and it is moving back, pushing the bird forward. That is a streamlined or board shaped body. Now a tail. Now the bird, all of you know that the birds have the tail. This tail help the bird to change the direction. Understood, children? Now what helps a bird to fly? We discussed all the points. Strong muscles, light feathers, light hollow bones, streamlined board shaped body, and a tail which helps in changing the direction. This makes the bird to fly. Okay, children, now we shall move to the next part topic of the lesson, that is how does a bird fly. Here we have discussed what helps a bird to fly. Yes or no? What helps the bird to fly? But now here we shall look into the topic, how does a bird fly? How does what mechanism is involved? What is the thing which is there in the birds which is making the bird to fly? Yes, how does a bird fly? Through wings. Yes, without wings it cannot fly. So first point is the bird will fly through wings. Then whenever you might have observed the bird, children, it takes the upward direction, downward direction. It takes the upward direction and the downward direction. Yes, Anshul. So when it is taking the wings, whenever it move up, we call it as upward stroke. Whenever the bird is lifting its wings, whenever the bird is lifting its wings in upward direction, we call it as upward stroke. You can see the picture here. This is the bird and its wings are in up direction. Okay, that is the upward stroke. This upward stroke helps the air to push it so that the body can move front. And whenever the wings are down, children, whenever the wings are down, again here also the air is pushed back for the movement. So it is the downward stroke. So how the bird is able to fly? The bird is able to fly through its wings, through moving the wings in upward direction and downward direction. And why this upward or downward direction is required? Yes, only to withstand the air which is coming to the bird in opposite direction, and so that it can push the air back and the bird it can move forward. That is the reason we are talking about the upward stroke and the downward stroke. Now we already said that yes, all the birds will fly. Yes, that is the nature of the bird. The bird's nature is to fly for different reasons, and we have already said that few birds swim in the water. Yes, these two we understood, but there are few birds. There are few birds which cannot fly. There are few birds which cannot fly, and we call these birds which cannot fly as flightless birds. The birds which cannot fly are called as or referred as flightless birds, children. Now what are the examples of these flightless birds? That is emu, ostrich and penguin. Here three examples are given in your textbook, that is emu, ostrich and penguin. These are the three birds which cannot fly. Now we'll see the reason why it cannot fly. But this is what the introduction or starting of your lesson. Yes, the birds are of different color, size and shape. They have to fly it from one place to other for different reasons. And these are the points which makes the bird to fly. And these are the upward and downward stroke which is making the bird to move forward. And there are few birds which cannot move. They are just on the ground. Now please come to page number 30 in your textbook, children. When you come to page number 30 in your textbook, you can see the birds have different kinds of beaks here. Yes or no? You have observed here the owl is given, vulture is given, pelican is given, and ostrich is given. And now when you look at the beaks, beak is the pointed sharp thing through which it feeds or eats something. Like we have the mouth to eat and all. The for birds it is the beak through which it takes its food. So if you see the beak's shape, these are of different size and shape for all these birds. Now, why do you think the beak shape is different? Where some beaks are pointed, some are very long, some are like very sharp, some are like little broad ear. Yes or no? Why these beaks are of different shapes and size? This is because it depends upon the nature of the food what they are taking in. It depends upon the nature of the food what they are taking. For example, few birds take the food from the soil, that is little just the surface of the soil, okay, and few birds have to take the food from the water. Few birds have to feed on the water from the, they have to catch the food from the water, and few birds have to take the food from the very internal parts of some other plants, from the very internal parts of some other plant. That means they have to pierce their beak in deep into that, until and unless the with the help of the beak they pierce the part of some plants or any other tissue, they cannot get the food. So the beaks are of different size or shape because of the nature of the food, the kind of the food what they take. Understood, children? Now we shall stop here. Next topic, next class we shall move to the different kinds of feathers and all. But for you, please copy the Sakshi. All of you, please copy the Sakshi. Children, every class there will be some very like writing part which you have to do then and there for that particular day. Okay, when you come here for the Sakshi, we did page number 30 and 31, children. Sakshi we have done, classwork we did lesson 3, page 30 and 31, and the homework is to write this. What helps a bird to fly? What helps a bird to fly? Okay, children. So this you have to write in your classwork. This you have to write in your classworks, and please write these 4 points, and at the same time you write this also, children. That is, how does a bird fly? This, let us make this as the first one, and second one is, how does a bird fly? Please, these are very simple points. 5 points here and just 3 points there. And please, if possible, just do the simple diagrams just to show the upward stroke and the downward stroke of the bird. So we shall stop here, and in the next class we shall move to the another topic. And one more thing what is given in your textbook here is ornithology. Ornithology, that is on page number 30, children. There are just 2 words which I want to discuss with you, the meaning of the words. Ornithology. Ornithology is the study of birds, children. Like, what is the shape of the birds, what is their structure, why the beaks are different, what is their food habits, means what kind of food they take. So the person who studies about the birds in detail, the person who studies about the birds in detail, that person is called, the study is called as ornithology. The study of the birds is called as ornithology. And here we have the word perch. Perch is what, children? Just we have seen the bird sitting on the branches, yes or no? So that is nothing but the perch, or relaxing or sitting on the branch of a plant or a tree, okay, or on a tree. So this is about today's class. Thank you.